2004 was a great year for the Bike of the Day series. I received a lot of cool bikes in the submission form. And as you know, Bike of the Day is where it all starts. Then it goes to Bike of the Month. Now it's time to talk about Bike of the Year. I also like to give props to the year's top bikes, along with, of course, Bike of the Year. There are more categories that people can win at the end of the year besides Bike of the Year. So without further ado, I'm going to get into this list for the best of Bike of the Day 2024. So I rarely get dirt jumpers submitted to Bike of the Day, but the few that I got in 2024 were real solid. But it was that 2018 red and gray Airborne Skyhawk with the custom artwork on it that stole the show. The details on it were amazing, and there was a lot to look at on this bike. Lots of details were included in the artwork. I was loving the red and the shades of gray on there, along with the black artwork that was on there, and there's so much stuff to see if you look really close at the bike. Lots of little details in the artwork. Big congrats to John Caps on this amazing build. I was loving the color and the art and the details on this one. This is the 2024 Sugarcane.com Dirt Jumper of the Year. I want to see more DJs submitted to Bike of the Day this year. Alright, let's go. Now, there were a few unique bikes featured last year on Bike of the Day, but the Yamaha-inspired WH Bradford Monoshocker kicked it out the park with the uniqueness. The custom one-off frame design, custom bottom style forks, and the Monoshocker all made this bike a top contender for not just most unique bike, but also Bike of the Year. Huge congrats to Mike for winning most unique Bike of the Year. Definitely deserved it with that bike. Anybody out there who has a unique BMX bike or dirt jumper, definitely send them to Bike of the Day. I want to see more unique builds in 2025. So there weren't many vintage bikes submitted at all to the site last year, but this 1981 Mongoose Team sent in by Tim Hokley was fire with that candy green colorway. I got to give a big shout out to Tim for keeping Bike of the Day spicy with that sick vintage build. This is the Sugarcane Vintage BMX Bike of the Year. Send me those vintage bikes, man. Stop fronting. I see them on Pinterest. I see them on Instagram. I see them on Facebook, but I'm not seeing them getting submitted to Bike of the Day. Come on, y'all. Let's go. Let's go. Support, represent. Let's showcase these bikes. There were several nice 24-inch cruisers featured on Bike of the Day in 2024, but none came close. Not even close. Not even close at all to that purple 2022 Jayhawk Cruiser. What? That thing was fire. Now, I rarely see those crazy Jayhawk frames in any color but raw aluminum, but that purple colorway took this bike to the next level. Actually, this is another bike that was up in the running for the most unique bike of the year, but that Monoshocker edged it out in that department. But this bike looks amazing. So that white 2021 Redline Squareback was hands down the 26-inch BMX bike of the year. Beside Vinrock's Illtown Slugger Sugarcane Collaboration 26-inch and Scarface's Johnny True Torch Diamondback 26-inch BMX bike, there was even a Johnny True Torch True Goose that was submitted that was 26-inch frame, but Lou Gentiempo was running 24-inch Skyway Tough wheels, so that one didn't count. But this Redline was definitely no slouch with all those great and hella expensive parts on there. John put together a really nice bike, and congrats to him on winning 26-inch BMX bike of the year. Yup. John is another guy who never gave me his last name, so it's just John. Same thing with Mike. Well, we can call him Monoshocker Mike. He doesn't have a last name either. Now, I did have a few 29-inch bikes featured last year, and there were some real nice ones. But that Gary Turner Legend 29er submitted by John DeVecchio had that extra sweet sauce. It had those luxury baller-style parts on it, which made it look fire. From that leather seat to them chrome-plated cranks to that colorway on the frame, made this bike win 29er of the year. Big up to Johnny D for submitting this one. This is the 29-inch BMX bike of the year. I love when I get Flatland bikes submitted to Bike of the Day. It's important to me to represent for all the elements of BMX, so I encourage folks to send in all the different types of BMX bikes that are out there, as long as they look fresh. And with that said, there was no other Flatland BMX bike touching this 2011 Aries Garuda. That blue and white colorway just looked too good, and with those white wall tires, woo, boy, it was just a well put together bike with style for days. This is the Flatland bike of the year. Big shout out and congrats to Waki NG for this amazing build. The OS 20s were in full effect in 2024 with a few bikes featured on the list. Now if you didn't already know, the OS in OS 20 stands for oversized because of its slightly bigger wheel diameter than the standard 20-inch wheel. This bike size grows in popularity year after year, and I'm always excited when people submit them to Bike of the Day. But it was that 2022 I Am Cook OS 20 in transparent raspberry that took it to the next level. This I Am Cook frame stood out from the rest of the pack of the OS 20s that was submitted because of its unique features, its transparent colorway, and also its unique head tube badge. This bike also features the unique I Am Cook enclosed 20mm forks. All that and then some are what make this the OS 20 of the year. Big shout out to Cameron Margison for submitting this one. Carbon BMX racing frames are said to be the pinnacle of BMX racing frame quality and technology. They're lighter and stiffer, which makes them faster around the track. They're also some of the most beautiful frames out there with their curves and big bold tubing. One of the best looking carbon frames in the game is the Prophecy Scud Evo 3, and we had one featured this year in the black and orange, and it was looking amazing. And real talk, I have yet to see a Prophecy Evo 3 that I didn't like. I love the huge branding on the down tubes, and that seat tube design gives it that futuristic look. But the new kid on the block, Josh BMX, submitted their ultimate carbon bike, which has some interesting features on it, like its flip chip headset design that offers two positions of geometry adjustment, giving you a shorter or longer top tube length with a difference of 8mm. Now I ain't never seen something like that before on the BMX frame, whether it be carbon, aluminum, or whatever. This is some different stuff right here. The frame also has flip chip dropouts, just like the amazing Supercross Vision F1 and that prototype Commensal BMX racing frame. But that headset thing is something real different, and for that, the 2024 Josh Ultimate Carbon won Carbon Bike of the Year. Big shout out and congrats to Johan Verstegen of Josh BMX on his win and this awesome build. So details are important. Paying attention to details are important, and the finer details of these bike builds are really important. And I don't think there was any other bike that represented that fact better in 2024 more than the 2016 Skyway TA that was submitted by Marcus Ripley. Not only did he have his bike looking like it was ready to win a major BMX show, he had the color coordination and balance on point. That color balance, you know, just having the colors evenly distributed throughout the bike was definitely dope. You know, you can really tell he thought about what parts were going to have what color. Yo, there's nothing better than the red, white, blue, and chrome plated Skyway TA. It's just a classic look. Marcus even had Skyway branded valve caps. He also had those Vans brake pads on the front that looked like sneakers. He had a Skyway seat, and of course a fresh set of Skyway pads to complete the look. For this awesome build, Marcus Ripley is the 2024 Sugarcane.com Detailer of the Year. Big congrats and shout out to you for really going in with how the bike was put together. Now, before I reveal the Bike of the Year, I want to give props to everybody who became a member of Sugarcane.com in 2024. I love that people are signing up, getting active on the site, and hooking up their profile pages. So I wanted to add a little feature to reward my members for engaging with the site. So I added a point system to the site. All throughout 2024, members on the site accumulated points for just about everything they did on the site. As they gained points, they unlocked achievements like badges and rank levels, and I even had a member leaderboard on there so you can keep track on who the top member was. Well, in addition to all of the best of Bike of the Year 2024, I also added the 2024 Sugarcane.com Member of the Year, and that member is Brian Compton. I used to see Brian posting a lot of comments on the articles on Sugarcane.com, but he wasn't a member yet, so I suggested he join the site because, you know, got little perks if you join the site, right? Well, he joined the site and engaged like crazy with it. The dude amassed a whopping 2,000 plus points, which led him to win Member of the Year. What? But guess what, y'all? Brian was so active on the site, showing love and being the #1 member. He also wins this 2024 Sugarcane Newbridge 26-inch BMX frame. That's right, he wins the frame. You see what happens when you join the site and become a member? something like this might happen. So I definitely encourage everybody to come and represent on the site. It's got that custom powder coated blue paint job, an illusion blue with the shattered glass to give it that sparkle. The vinyl stickers were done by me, so all the stuff you see here I personally put on there. And this is the only 26-inch sugarcane frame that's done in this color with this sticker kit. And this frame right here was manufactured the same time as the Sugarcane by Nature frames were made. So you also have the serial number SCBN that represents Sugarcane by Nature. There was 200 frames made between the 26-inch and the 20-inch junior frames, and this is number 133. So it's a one-off colorway of the 26-inch Sugarcane New Bridge frame. And some other little things to let you know that it's a sugarcane frame in case somebody ever strips the paint off are the two holes that stick down on the bridges for the seat stay and the chain stay. We got a nice gusset welded on there for some extra strength. You can see the seat tube has a little bit of a taper there for some extra stiffness. It's got 14 mil dropout, so you can put your 10 mil or 14 mil in there. You just need to get some axle adapters on there, so you can do whatever you want. You can put pegs on it, you can set up for racing or anything. So I wanted to make this bike a universal kind of bike, so you can do BMX racing, or you can go out there and ride the streets with it. So big shout out and congrats to Brian Compton for all your activity on the site and becoming member of the year. This is the first time I'm doing member of the year, and we'll be doing more this year. All right, so come join the site, hook up your profile page, comment, like, and get active on the site. You never know, you might beat Brian Compton this year, because right now he is already in first place because he's been getting busy on the site. So let's see how this goes this year. We might wind up having people with like 50, 60,000 points the way he's going. So another new feature I added to the site is the most upvoted, aka most like filter. When you go to the Bike of the Day page, you can select the most uploaded option in the drop down list, which sorts the posts to show the articles with the most likes in descending order. And the most liked bike for 2024 is a 2024 Supercross SX 250 35th anniversary prototype submitted by Josh Camel Joe Randall. Big congrats to Josh on his win for getting all those likes. There's also an option on the drop down list where you can select the most discussed, aka most comments. And it just so happens that my personal bike that I submitted last year was the most commented on bike for 2024. So shout out to me for the win. Now, I was trying to get y'all to comment on the bikes before the end of the year, and actually there were two bikes that had one less comment than mine, but nobody came through and added comments to those bikes. So I wasn't even going to do this category in the video since it was my bike that won. But you know what? Nah, y'all need to comment on those bikes because there is a competition going on for 2025, all right? And y'all members out there, all the members to the site, definitely leave the comments because you get points for that. That can help you out with your membership points. Every once in a while, there's a bike that's so fire that I think it really deserves to be Bike of the Year. But visitors to the site may give a different bike the top rating. Now, I can't just let a bike that I think should win Bike of the Year not get its proper props. So I have a special Bike of the Year Editor's Pick Award, and this year's award goes to the 2024 Daylight 2.0 hand engraved BMX race bike. This bike was hands down my favorite bike of the year. The hand engraving and polish work on this bike was undeniable. Whether you like this style or not, you gotta give props where props is due, and this bike deserved it all. Okay, this was some craftsmanship, this was some really dope work put in this bike, and the time and effort it was to put this one together was crazy. Even if you're not into that type of style and you want something more colorful or whatever the case may be, you still have to acknowledge that this bike was done really dope. You know, like there's lots of cars out there that are real fresh that I would never want to buy or drive. They're not my style. I still have to give them props for being a really dope car, whether it be an Aston Martin, Lamborghini, a Bugatti, or whatever the case may be. There's no denying those cars are dope. There were a bunch of bikes that were listed this year that I really liked, that I like more than this bike as far as, you know, color wise or whatever. I can't let the craftsmanship, the time, and the expertise that was put into this frame go past. Just can't do it. And with that said, this is the Bike of the Year Editor's Pick. Big shout out and congrats to Richard Hoovard of Daylight Bicycles on this amazing bike and his amazing brand. And now for the 2024 Sugarcane.com Bike of the Year based off the user ratings. And that bike is a 2024 I Am Cook 24-inch BMX Cruiser sent in by Paul Cracker Graham. This awesome bike was sitting in the #1 spot for most of the year until the last couple of months of 2024, where it got dethroned by a few bikes like the Supercross SX bikes, Brian Compton's PK Ripper, and a few others. But the people rallied hard with the ratings and brought Cracker's bike back to the top, where it stayed to the end of the year. This is Paul's second time winning Bike of the Year on sugarcane.com, and big shout out to him for building up a great bike. Also, big shout out and congrats to I Am Cook for not only making some awesome frames and forks, but for also dominating the Bike of the Year charts with so many bikes in the top 10. Now, before I wrap this up, I have one more big announcement to make. Since Paul won Bike of the Year, he also wins the 2024 Mongoose FS1 bike, sent to me courtesy of Mongoose Bicycles. Oh yeah, congrats to Paul for his big win. Man, this is giving me Sugarcane Bike Fest vibes with all these prizes. If any of y'all have been to a Sugarcane Bike Fest, I used to give out so many prizes at all these events. It would be bikes, bike frames, t-shirts, stickers, sneakers, book bags, suitcases, all kind of stuff I used to give out during the Sugarcane Bike Fest. Hopefully I can bring it back in 2025, but this right here, giving out these prizes, the bike frame and the Mongoose bike, definitely brings back the Sugarcane Bike Fest vibe. So truly excited about this, for real. Super huge shout out and thanks to the team at Mongoose Bicycles for always showing love to me and the site. It's very much appreciated. And I also love what you guys are doing to support the sport in general. So big shout out and salute to Mongoose Bicycles for representing for the sport. And also I want to give a big thank you to everybody who submitted bikes and got them featured on Bike of the Day. I enjoy checking out all your bikes and giving them shine on the website. I really truly appreciate all your support. And just remember, at the end of the day, winning Bike of the Year and stuff like that is just the icing on the cake. You know, it's the love of showcasing these great bikes, checking out the photos and parts lists, and reading the inspirations of the build. That's what's really important. It's about the bikes and sharing our love for the bikes and all these different parts and things that will help us decide on what we're going to get for our bikes down the road when we want to put something new together or showcase it or get something for our kids and things like that. We're already off to a great start for 2025 Bike of the Year. And if you want to submit your bike, make sure you visit sugarcane.com and submit your bike. I have a submit tab there. It has all the information that you need, and there's a form you fill out to submit your bike. I'm also going to put that information in the description below so you guys can click right on it and submit your bikes, because I definitely want to see them. Flatland, street, park, race, dirt jumper, cruiser, 24, 25, 26, whatever size it is, as long as it's a BMX bike or a dirt jumper, I am in. And make sure it looks good. Don't send me no bikes that look crazy. I'm not going to post them if they look crazy. If they look super dirty, super rusty, nope. If the handlebars are too Chicago'd, I probably won't post it. If you have stock parts on your bike and didn't put nothing different on it, no different handlebar brand, no different stem brand or whatever, I probably won't post it. If your pictures are cutting off your bike, so you have a full picture of your bike, but the front wheel is cut off. I let some of it slide last year, but this year, not gonna happen. I got examples of pictures of how you should send your bike. If you send me 4 pictures of your bike, that's not enough pictures. I probably won't post your bike. It takes a lot of effort to put these bikes together, to run a website and things like that. And the less effort you put into presenting your bike to me, the harder you are making it for me to present your bike, especially when I do the videos and I want to zoom in and stuff like that. So I really need you guys to put a little bit of effort into taking good photos of your bike, making sure the background is not super busy. You know, you have like a plain background, and make sure you get both sides of the bike, nice wide shot, both sides of the bike. One of the reasons why it's so important is because I like to zoom in. I can manipulate the photo so that way I can get what I need in it. And always take some good photos of the bottom bracket. Very important, because you mentioned bottom bracket and I can't cut to the bottom bracket in the video, and then it just kind of, well, it makes it easier for me because I don't have to actually use that part. And that is it, man. This is Crazy Al Kane, aka Al Kane, representing for BMX Hip Hop and other dope treats. And I'm out. Back to you, Billy. Oh, wait a minute. Did I even show the bike? I gotta show the bike. There it is, y'all. There it is. There it is, y'all. There it is. There it is, y'all. There it is. Shout out to Paul Graham for winning the bike. Shout out to Paul Graham for winning the bike. Shout out to Paul Graham for winning the bike. Yeah.